everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome. My name is Mandy and this is me literally straight out of bed. This is what I look like when I get out of bed, and I'm here to share my AM skincare routine. I'm not quite sure how it's changed from the last time I posted one, but I do think it's been a very hot minute since I have posted one, so I thought I would come on and share what I do every morning. The only thing I have done so far this morning is I did get out of bed, put on some of my Dermatology brightening eye masks, and get back in bed for like 20 minutes. Just to, scroll through my phone and get some brightening going on with these. These are my favorite eye masks so far. And I've gone through, this is my third jar that I have opened and started going through. But that is it. I haven't even washed my face. So that's what we're going to start with. And this portion of the video is in partnership with City Beauty to introduce y'all to their very brand new cleanser. And when I opened this, I was like, oh my word, this might be my favorite packaging of any cleanser. There's just something that is very, very sleek and classy about it. This is the Gentle Glow Nourishing Cleanser. This is a 5 fluid ounce bottle. It is a lightweight jelly cleanser. It's great for dryness, dullness, uneven skin tone, enlarged pores. When I first used it, I'm like, ooh, what is that scent? That smells so good. And then I looked and it is a refreshing pistachio scent, which I have to say I've never had in a cleanser, but it is very enjoyable. So it does come with a pump and you can use this morning and night. I have used it both. So I have a bowl of water here. I may not be able to rinse my face here, but I do want to show you how this lathers and how it applies. And it does say to put it on a little bit of damp face. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of water, and then you can take a couple of pumps. This is what it looks like. It is truly just like a gel texture cleanser. And it gets this really nice lather, and then I just wash my face with it. This has 4 key ingredients. The first is a biogenic salic blend, which helps remove impurities from the skin for a smoother appearance. It has a ceramide complex blend, which is ultra hydrating and supports a healthy skin barrier. It has apple fruit extract, which is antioxidant rich and contains vitamin C and E. And it also has black leaf extract, which is powered by antioxidant properties, and it helps soothe the skin, reduce visible signs of aging that can be caused by environmental stressors. It almost feels like it's not there. I mean, I can feel like I need to rinse my face, which I'm gonna go do real quick. It does not leave the skin feeling dry or stripped or unpleasant in any way. This is free of gluten, mineral oil, phthalates, and parabens, and it is cruelty-free. So because of all of the ceramide and the antioxidants and the added properties to this cleanser, you aren't gonna feel stripped. It is gonna add hydration while it's cleansing your face. And I do feel like it is strong enough to use at night too as a second cleanse, which I have been doing and enjoying. But I also feel like it's light enough to use in the morning. I personally choose to wash my face in the morning. I know a lot of people say you're not supposed to, you don't need to, you just need to rinse with water. It's a personal preference of what your skin likes and what it doesn't like. I have tried to go with just rinsing with water and my skin didn't like it. So I went back to cleansing it and it works. But I don't like to use a heavy cleanser in the morning, something that is too thick or just heavy feeling in general. I like to go for more gel-based cleansers, so this is perfect. But a lot of gel-based cleansers are made for oily skin and can feel stripping. So if you're looking for a lightweight cleanser that smells fantastic, definitely check this out. Again, it's 5 fluid ounces, retails for $44. I always have a coupon code with City Beauty that you can use on top of that. So let's get on to the rest of the routine. Let's try to ignore this massive red spot on my head. Y'all, I have been dealing with this for 2 weeks. I don't even think it's a breakout. I think I got bitten by something. I don't want to know what. It definitely is not a mosquito bite, and it will not go away. So we're gonna try to ignore that and move on to the rest of the routine. I will go ahead and say I am a skincare maximalist. I love lots of steps. It is a ritual for me. I'm not saying you need all these steps. I am also gonna give you options within each step because I do get sent a lot of skincare and because I buy a lot of skincare, I do have options that I rotate through. The first step after washing my face is a toner, a hydrating toner of some kind. I only do 1 layer in the morning. At night is when I do like 3, 4, 5 layers and really get my hydration going. but in the morning I only use one. And right now I'm rotating between the Numbuzzin Pureful Calming Herb Toner, this is the number 1, or the Good Molecules Sakura Hyaluronic Acid Boosting Essence. This one is a watery toner. This one is a much thicker essence. So how I determine what I'm going to use is based on what SPF I want to use that day, what makeup I'm going to use in that day. I really think ahead, because if I am going to be using a more moisturizing SPF, I'm not going to use this because I don't want things to become too heavy. So today I'm going to use the Numbuzzin. Very, very, very watery. But the number 1 line from Numbuzzin is probably my favorite out of their entire line. The sunscreen has always been a favorite of mine, but I love the number 1 toner. I love the number 1 moisturizer. There's something else I've tried from the number 1 line. I can't remember, but it's all about calming. And most of the products in the number 1 line, I think has licorice root extract in it, which is one of my favorite skincare ingredients. I think I'm going to do a whole video on that. And it sinks in very fast. It's not heavy at all. And it's just a good foundation for the rest of my products. The next step is one that I don't have options for because I don't deviate from this product. This is the Calisum Professional Multi-Action Cream. Yes, it is called a cream. However, it is meant to go on first. It is a growth factor and exosome cream, and in order to get the best benefits, it does need to go on first. It is so thin and sinks in so fast, it's like a serum, so it doesn't really matter to me that it goes on first. That's all I use, and everything I use on my face, I take down my neck. And again, this sinks in so fast. It is like a serum, but you do need to give it a minute or so to sink in before you go on to your next steps. So what I like to do at this stage of my skincare is this is when I'll do my like chest skincare. You know, I'll put on my clothes for the day, and it ends up being like 2 or 3 minutes before I go on to my next step. And my next step is some kind of antioxidant. Typically it's a vitamin C. I do have another serum that I haven't tried yet that I'm going to talk to you about that is more of like an antioxidant serum, and I do want to kind of rotate that in during this step. The 2 vitamin C's that I have been rotating the most currently are the Medicate C Tetralux. This is the original C Tetralux. I've got only about that much left. And this is more of like an oil-based vitamin C. You only need 6 drops of it. It is tetrahexadecyl exorbate based, which is my favorite derivative of vitamin C. I have used multiple of these, and I've always loved it, and I always will. Now, they recently came out with their C Tetra Advanced. This is a 20% vitamin C gel serum, and this has tetrahexadecyl exorbate. It's more of a cream-based version with some more added ingredients. I have only used about that much of this one, so I can't say for sure yet, but right now I like them both equally. Like, I don't see a huge difference. The 2 that I haven't tried yet, but that I want to show you because they will become a part of this rotation, the Songboon Editor, I think is how you say this. It's the Active Marine Astazanthin Capsule Serum. This is the one that I said I haven't tried yet, but would be something that I used in this antioxidant step. It is very, very lightweight, sinks in almost like an essence would, and it has really, really, really good reviews. So I will definitely be putting this in rotation. I received this one yesterday. This is from the brand Mother, and it is their number 1 serum. And it is also a tetrahexadecyl exorbate form of vitamin C. It also has niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, ferulic acid, licorice root extract, which I'm so excited about. So I will be including this in rotation as well. But I don't want to try anything new today, so I'm going to use my Medicate C Tetra Advanced. Now, this has been sitting on my skin for a hot minute, so I'm going to use my Josh Rosebrook spray to kind of rehydrate, and then take 2 pumps of that vitamin C for my face and my neck. The more I get into this routine, the more red I'm going to become, and that's just because the more I touch my face, the redness appears, but it'll go away. Maybe, depending on the day. Okay, next step is optional, but it is a peptide serum. A lot of people will say, well, you use a growth factor, why do you need a peptide? They do work a little bit differently. Growth factors are great for healing and regenerating your skin. It triggers that cell growth. It's kind of like a manager directing and delegating your skin, telling it how to heal and grow. Whereas a peptide is more like a messenger, kind of like sending a text message, hey, produce more collagen. improve my firmness. So you know what? I'm going to use both because I want to. And I love the Medicate Liquid Peptides Advanced MP. This is my second bottle. I'll take 2 pumps of that. Super hydrating, so I don't feel that I need to spray my face in between. This is said to have a peptide in it that within 10 minutes is going to make some more like static and dynamic wrinkles kind of disappear. I don't know that I've seen that. I do think peptides help, you know, the look of fine lines and wrinkles. I know they are very hydrating to the skin, and I know my skin really likes this, so I'm gonna continue to use it. I use the Truology Peptide Serum, which is equally great at night. That's all my serums. So I do my calisum, and then I'll do some kind of antioxidant serum and some kind of peptide serum. Then I'm gonna go on to eye cream, and I'm rotating through 2 different eye creams right now. The Chantecaille Stress Repair Concentrate, which I've talked about how much I love. I've gone through multiples of these as well. It has caffeine in it. It really just awakens your eyes and is also hydrating, but not so hydrating that it doesn't sit well under concealer. And then the Restore C Pro Line Blur Eye Cream. When I first got this, I think it came in like a gift with purchase from Harbin House. I was like, this is gonna be thick, right? Because when you hear line blurring, you think almost silicone-y, right? To fill in the lines. This is not thick at all. I guess I'm using this one today since I just pumped it out. I need like a half a pump, and it sinks in so nice, but it wears really well under concealer. I don't know if I've seen any line blurring, but it certainly hasn't made any lines worse. I will say that. Do you need an eye cream? I personally need an eye cream because I love an eye cream. But that, I'm not telling anybody they have to have one. A lot of people just take, you know, their products that they use everywhere else up under their eyes and they're good to go. Next step is moisturizer. I'm rotating through 2 moisturizers. They are both peptide moisturizers. The first is the Allies of Skin Peptides and Antioxidants Advanced Firming Daily Treatment. We know I love this. I have lost count of how many I have gone through of this. It is something that contains 13 brighteners, 9 antioxidants, 7 firming peptides, 5% teprenone and ferulic complex, and 3% biotech algae complex. Allies of Skin makes some of the best multi-purpose, lots of ingredients but still effective products on the market. Just hands down. Every single product they make serves so many purposes and is still very effective. This can be a little bit pricey. While I think it's worth it personally, I have also been using the Naturium Multi-Peptide Moisturizer, which is very good as well. In fact, I've used this on camera so much that I'm going to use this one today because I don't know that I've ever talked about it. And you can see I am almost done with it. Naturium is going to be, I'm going to use 2 pumps, much more affordable. Now, this doesn't have all the ingredients that Allies of Skin has in it. It's not to say it's not effective, but it's not going to be as effective in all of those areas because the ingredients just aren't there. However, it's still very nice. It sinks in nicely. It does contain peptides, and it works well under sunscreen and makeup, which is what I look for in a moisturizer for the morning time. Now, at this point, I will brush my teeth at the very minimum and anything else I need to do to let that moisturizer sink in. So I'm going to have a minimum of 2 minutes to let this sink in before I go on to SPF. Now, I have way too many SPFs to talk about. I'm talking just a plethora of SPFs. It's my favorite skincare product. I love trying new ones, but I also have ones that I come back to over and over and over again. And probably the reason that some of those SPFs don't get that much love. And I'm going to be showing my top 3 today. These are the ones that I have used most this season. So in the summer, when it's hot, when I need the utmost sun protection, these are the ones I grab for. The first one is the Paula's Choice SPF 50, 5% vitamin C. This says a sheer moisturizer, and on super hot days, I can skip my moisturizer step and use just this, but I adore this SPF. I think this is the 3rd one that I have used. This is a chemical-based SPF or chemical filters. I personally don't mind a chemical filter SPF. In fact, I quite like them on my skin. But if you are someone who just refuses to wear it, this is not gonna be for you, but it's phenomenal. Really, really, really good. Another one that is this is my absolute favorite sunscreen for the summertime. And it is the La Roche-Posay Anthelios UV Moon 400 SPF 50+. This is the European version. I get this off of Care2 Beauty. I do also think Stylevana carries this, but you cannot get it at a store in the States because it has much more advanced filters than the United States have approved to this date. It is so cosmetically elegant. It sinks in so fast. It's not too dewy. It's not too matte. It's absolute perfection. And if I had to pick my favorite sunscreen out of every sunscreen that I have ever tried to date, it would probably be this one. And of course, it's one you can't get here. The one I'm using today is a tinted one. This is the Isden Photo Aerofotona Ageless Ultralight Emulsion SPF 50. And the reason I'm using this today is because I'm going to be using a powder foundation for makeup. So I'm not using a liquid foundation, but I want a little bit of coverage. If I was not using a liquid foundation and I was not using a powder foundation, I would be using the Merit SPF tinted SPF because that has the coverage of a foundation, but I can still use enough of it as a sunscreen, an actual sunscreen to get the protection. I'll put a card up for that video. It's a very polarizing product, I have come to realize. And there are a ton of people out there saying you absolutely cannot use enough for sun protection to get the SPF 50 because of how thick it is. I use 7 pumps and it works great. But for this one, I'm going to start with 2 finger lengths. I don't forget my ears. I have people in my life that have had skin cancer on their ears. And this one, while it's tinted, you can still see my redness through it. So this is not like a Merit tint. It's not a color science tint. It's not going to give you that much coverage, but it still dries down to a really nice finish. I'm going to use a second layer of 2 finger lengths full to get the proper coverage. And even though it has a tint and a little bit of coverage, it still works really well under, liquid foundations. It works really well applied on top of itself, reapplying throughout the day. And this one is a mineral based. And then even though I use my dermatology corrector under the eyes, I am going to take a little bit more for my eyelids and my under eyes. And the final step is lip balm. I also have so many of these laying around the house because I always have to have something on my lips. But the one that I've been using the most in my bathroom is the Experiment Soft Wear Lip Balm. It's a little bit thicker, but I like that for a lip balm because it's going to stay on longer and it is super hydrating and it's Experiment, so it's going to be affordable. Popping in after I have clearly fully gotten ready for the day, because I forgot to tell you that 2 days a week I use some kind of exfoliation, and I basically do that in place of my toners. So I'll pretty much keep everything else the same after that. And right now I'm using the Wise Beauty Your Favorite X exfoliating pads. I really like these because they aren't uncomfortable, like they're gentle enough to not be too stingy. They're very large. They have like an exfoliating side, and then they have a little cut in where you can put your fingers so it's easier to get a wider section of your face. And so far I've really been enjoying them. This comes with 45 pads, so that's gonna last me, I don't know, like 5 months. So it's gonna last me a while because I only exfoliate twice a week. And now I'm ready to go start my day. I know that seems like a lot, but I can get this done in less than 10 minutes in the morning. It's not like it's taking up my entire day. I've seen a lot of people say, I don't have time for that. I make 10 minutes of time for this because this is what my skin likes. It's what I like. And again, you don't need all the steps, but if you want all the steps, hopefully this was helpful. I will have all of the products I talked about listed and linked below. Don't forget about this beautiful new City Beauty cleanser. Can't get over how pretty that is. I will put that link and my discount code down below as well. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.